and DPR RI, particularly Commission 1. And the second one, few years ago, it is also cooperation between US Congress and DPR RI, Indonesian Parliament, focus on the budget. So now, as taught by President Usindo, David Meru, this is a very important and very real agenda of us, that the renewable energy, now it is one of the very important of the international issues, that is about climate change and how to address the problem with this. Then renewable energy is one of the very important first. I only want to, at the end of this remark, to specially thanks to Congressman David Price, who make your time. You are very busy, but you can make your time to come and join this program. And also, thank you very much to all speakers who are going to speak on the 10 days to come during the implementation of this program. Thank you very much also to all participants, and particularly to Pak Sugeng Suparwoto, Chairman of the Commission 7 of Indonesian Parliament. Thank you very much. All the best of our program. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Deo.
Thank you.
I now invite Chairman Price's remarks. I want to thank you again, Chairman Price, for your inspiring leadership of the House Democracy Partnership and your commitment to Indonesia, and for honoring us all by being here today. Chairman Price, please.
Thank you so much, and good morning, good evening, wherever we are in the world. It's quite remarkable that we can convene this kind of discussion. Would be preferable, of course, to be in person, but on the other hand, this opens up possibilities for continual consultation that we need to take full advantage of. So thank you so much, and I want to greet our colleagues in the Indonesian Parliament, the DPR, particularly the chairman of Commission 7, Pak Sugeng, and the other colleagues who are here with me to help launch this week-long effort, which is going to involve members, but it's also going to critically involve staff, and that's been a real strength, as far as I'm concerned, of USINDO, the USINDO organization, and the programs that David has just described. We realize, all of us in parliaments realize, that we can't do it alone, and that so much of what we do and the quality of what we do is dependent very much on this professional staff, the people who are there every day working on the issues and trying to sort through what kind of policy responses are indicated. So this is unusual. I don't know of too many organizations like USINDO around the world, or too many relationships like the one we're going to celebrate this week, as we collaborate at a very granular level, collaborate on the very details of how renewable energy policy has been implemented around the world, and what Indonesia now will do through this parliamentary leadership. But I know it's important, and I'm very honored to be here to help launch this week's effort. The last visit the House Democracy Partnership made to Indonesia was in mid-2019. We have a 15-year history of working with parliaments around the world, where we have a mutual desire to improve our practice and to support one another. We were in Jakarta in mid-2019. Of course, we didn't realize that the curtain would fall with respect to the pandemic, and we'd be operating virtually for more than a year. But here we are. We certainly look forward to visiting once again, but we do remember that last visit fondly, and we remember that lunch that USINDO put on, where we gathered and had a great time, and had a number of special guests who and this was in the middle of a series of visits that included the Vice President and included lots of parliamentary colleagues. The 15-year history of the House Democracy Partnership has featured in the Indonesian relationship very strongly, as all of you know, and we feel that we have a huge stake in Indonesian development and the kind of relationship on all levels that our country has with Indonesia. We also understand, and I must say, we understand in our country in a new sort of way how fragile sometimes democracy can be, and how we take nothing for granted. After what happened in our capital on January 6th, believe me, we take nothing for granted. We understand that the rule of law and the peaceful transition of power, those kinds of bedrock principles of our democracy in this country were threatened in a way that I know I had not imagined. So we have it's always a work in progress. Democracy is always a work in progress, and certainly making our parliaments function well, making them responsive, making them effective, freeing them from corruption, and being able to make effective policy in a professional way. That's something that USINDO has celebrated and contributed to, and it's certainly something we want to embrace in the House Democracy Partnership. Let me just say a word about parliamentary staff. I know from the very beginning of our relationship in Indonesia, the question of the DPR staff and who controlled the staff and who paid the salaries of the staff, this has always been a major reform issue. But when you tackle an issue like renewable energy and the many ramifications of that issue, it becomes just as evident as it could possibly be that professional staff development and a role for staff respecting the science, respecting the understanding what other countries have done, respecting the kind of possibilities and limits of what we can undertake. All that's critically important. My first role in Washington, my first time in Washington was years ago as a graduate student. I decided I'd like to see what was going on firsthand. So I managed to get myself a summer job with a senator from Alaska, one of the founders of Alaskan statehood, Bob Bartlett, and they liked me and I liked them, and so all through the next 5 years, I was there every summer as a legislative aide, and that left a lasting impression on me. Once I finally became a member of Congress myself, I had some ideas about how to run a staff, and but I also came to appreciate just the absolutely essential role of staff and staff professional,ism in making the Congress work. And that's, I think that's a universal truth that none of our parliaments, no matter what our constitutional arrangements exactly are, or no matter what the details, political situation might be, we are going to need, for continuity and for expertise and for a kind of professional viewpoint, we're going to depend on staff. And you're going to be hearing from a lot of our staff this week. We're pleased especially that the Congressional Research Service can participate in the way that that they are. This is a wonderful institution, and every parliament, in my opinion, needs some version of the Congressional Research Service as a resource for doing serious research and connecting really with parliaments all over the world. So I come by the respect for staff, honestly, and I think I probably don't need to convince my colleagues from the DPR that staff resources are important. The independence of staff is important. They, of course, aren't powers unto themselves. On the other hand, they do need to be free to follow the facts, to lay out the facts objectively, and to give members an honest appraisal of what is possible and what the consequences of different courses of action might be. So in that sense, this week should be very enlightening. I've looked at the program for the week. It looks like an ambitious program. I commend USINDO for putting this together. We are, of course, committed at the House Democracy Partnership to the member-to-member relationship with the Indonesian Parliament. We visit in person. We welcome your members repeatedly to Washington, and we look forward to doing that again. But what goes on the ground in between visits is often what really counts. And that's what this week is about. This is about a real policy objective, a critical policy need in light of climate change and what's happening to our planet. It's something that we all simply must devote ourselves to. And so this work between our official visits, where we're all figuring out what this renewable energy policy can look like and how we can learn from each other, this is critically important. So thank you for the interest on the Indonesian side. We're very, very grateful, very encouraged to see this going forward. Thanks to USINDO for bringing us together once again, and best wishes for a fruitful week of discussions.
Thank you so much, Chairman Price. They're very inspiring and very insightful, based on a great history and good advice for us all. I now would like to invite Commission 7 Chairman Pak Sugeng, our lead partner for this program, for his remarks. Pak Sugeng, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. David Merrill. Yes, Your Excellency, Chairman of the U.S. House Democracy Partnership, Mr. David Price, respectable President of the U.S.-Indonesia Society, USINDO, Mr. David Merrill, respectable USINDO Indonesia Co-Chair, Bapak Theo Sambuaga, Honorable Secretary General of DPR Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Indra Iskandar, Honorable Head of Expertise Agency of DPR RI, Mr. Usindo'S Samsul, Honorable Vice Chairman and Member of Commission 7, dear all participants of USINDO-DPR Legislative Partnership Program 2020. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening from Indonesia, and also good morning for our friend in the DC. Thank you very much for opportunity given to me. And thank you also for the warm welcome from USINDO. First of all, let's pray and thank our God, who has given us mercies and blessings so that we can join the online USINDO-DPR Legislative Partnership 2020. I am delighted because we can meet again after our first meeting as a follow-up for USINDO-DPR Legislative Partnership Program 2020 agendas. Before we get started, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Ambassador Mr. David Merrill and his staff for arranging a great schedule for this program. Yes, it is also an honor for us to have Congressman Mr. David Price, Chairman of the U.S. House Democracy Partnership at this time. As scheduled in the plan from March 29 until April 9, 2021, USINDO designed a legislative partnership program in collaboration with Commission 7, DPR Republic of Indonesia. Through this valuable program, we hope that it will enhance our staff knowledge, especially in the renewable energy sector, and develop professional skill in congressional research and legislative process. As we all know, the fossil energy sector in the future is experiencing sunset phase due to natural decline. Based on our National Energy Council data, Indonesia proven oil reserve is just 4.2 billion barrels, natural gas and 62.4 trillion cubic feet, and coal is 38.8 billion ton. Assuming no new proven reserves are discovered, then oil, natural gas, and coal in Indonesia will be exhausted in about 9 years, 18 years, and I think totally about just 99 years for coal, respectively. Given the facts that fossil energy sources are limited, it is necessary to increase the capacity and role of renewable energy. We have received a draft agenda program offered at this activity. This topic presented are in line with our commitment to support the acceleration of renewable energy use. Ladies and gentlemen, Commission 7 DPR Republic of Indonesia is committed to supporting the implementation of sustainable energy in Indonesia. It is in line with the Paris Agreement and government commitment ratified through Law Number 16 of 2020 to reduce CO2 emission. This commitment is stated in Indonesia nationally determined contribution for reducing emission by 29%, or the equivalent of 834 million tons of CO2 by 2030, with self-financing, and 41% of equivalent 1,081 million tons of CO2 with international support. Indonesia has enormous source in the renewable energy sector. Based on data from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, the total potential electricity generation from renewable energy is 470.8 gigawatt, including solar power, hydropower, wind, bioenergy, geothermal, and ocean current energy biofuel of 12 million kiloliters. However, currently, the total potential utilization of renewable energy power plant is still around 10 gigawatt only, or only about 2.5% of our potential. At the same time, the use of biofuel has reached 10 million kiloliters, or has gained about 83.3%. Some of the main challenges in accelerating the development of the renewable energy sector in Indonesia are political will, limited investment, and adequate inter-regional electricity infrastructure, market dominance by coal-based power plant, and the renewable energy tariff that unable to compete with coal-based power plant. For example, if we talk about financing and investment, Indonesia needs an additional 14,087 megawatt to reach the 23% renewable energy target by 2025. Indonesia needs investment and financing of approximately 34 billion US dollar or 6.8 billion US dollar per year to achieve this target. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know that in 2021, Commission 7 Parliament Republic of Indonesia is focusing to finalize the renewable energy bill. The bill is designed to improve sustainable energy use while decreasing fossil energy use and provide a good quality environment. It is a crucial regulation to lead Indonesia for renewable and cleaner energy shortly. We need support from all parties so that we can finish the bill soon this year. In closing, I hope that this program will increase cooperation in the legislative sector between USINDO, the Indonesian Parliament, and the US Congress. If possible, we invite the US Congress to expand our collaboration to facilitate capacity building in energy, research, and technology. Besides that, cooperation in climate change mitigation and environment preservation is also what we need at this time. We also look forward to collaborating with the US Congress in the oil and gas sector, considering that we will also process the revision of oil and gas law soon after we complete the renewable energy bill. Hopefully, this program will give many benefits for participants and also members of Commission 7 DPR Republic of Indonesia who are interested in participating in the session and renewable energy that has been offered. We hope that if the situation allows after the COVID-19 pandemic, we will have the opportunity to enhance our legislative knowledge in the US Congress. That's all from my side. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that there will be a continuation of USINDO, Commission 7 Parliament Republic of Indonesia, and the US Congress synergy to support the development of Indonesia renewable energy sector. Once again, thank you very much. Billahi wa taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to Mr. Bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pak Sugeng. I'll now wrap up this session and turn slightly to what's ahead tomorrow and the days ahead. On the content of the program, you're going to hear top energy experts from around the world share their knowledge on what other countries are doing in legislation, particularly to handle their new and renewable energy issues. We've packed this program with energy substance as well as procedural substance. The U.S. National Renewable Energy Laboratory experts will present tomorrow morning, and the International Renewable Energy Agency the following day. We have energy experts from Columbia University, the Fletcher School at Tufts, the National University of Singapore to present on new and renewable energy. We have energy experts from Mexico, Iceland on geothermal, and the United States. you're going to hear top experts from the U.S. House of Representatives. As mentioned, the U.S. Congressional Research Staff will brief us on current energy issues in the U.S., how the U.S. Congress is dealing with that. Very controversial subject, a very interesting subject in the U.S. this year. And on the legislative process, including hearings, research, and legislative drafting, as well as these substantive energy issues. Full-time participants will have a detailed course orientation and introduction to the mandatory group assignments tomorrow at 11 a.m. Jakarta time. These will be work. So while it's fun to listen, work is also part of this course. However, this is not work just done for the USINDO course. This is work that's going to be 20 times more useful for you in your regular jobs for the committee. You will be doing mock or sample exercises with teams, competing teams, on how you would recommend to Chairman Sugang that he proceed in detail with improving the draft energy bill to a high state of polish. So please attend and tell your colleagues to attend all your required work sessions so you'll get the full value of this year's program as you work on your new energy law. I thank everyone here today, and I hereby conclude with thanks to all this opening session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and selamat malam. I guess I'm one of the few that's selamat pagi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Terima kasih Pak Sugeng.
Thank you.
Semua.
Ya,
Yes.
Pak. Ya. Sehat Pak ya, Pak Theo.
Sehat. Terima kasih Mas.
Oke.
Mas
Ya.
Dulu.
Ya.
Malam Pak Theo.
Ya. Ya.
Mbak. Si Emma. Oke,
Dewa,
thank you.
Pak.
Oke, saya live ya. Kebetulan ini lagi ada rapat saya disuruh.
Oke, Mas, silakan.
Saya live
Please.
melanjutkan.
Oke.
Ya, ya. Terima kasih semuanya.
Sure.
Thank you for
Sukses ya.
all the best for all. Ya.